Oh my god, it's too hot. Okay, I gotta wait. Hello. I was trying to drink that peppermint tea, but it's too hot. Also, if you sense a little bit of difference in my voice, I don't know if you can sense it. It's because I caught a cold, I think. So that might be why. Today, I just want to discuss a little bit about this beautiful Vivienne Westwood tie. Not necessarily the history behind Vivienne Westwood or this tie, but more so about my own not history, my own story and lore, the incredible lore behind this tie, and also how that ties into what kind of decisions we have to make to decide if we want to buy a garment or clothing item. So here we go. First things first, I should probably wear this tie while I'm talking about this tie. Wouldn't you say? Isn't that fair? So let me try to tie this real quick. Pretty good for tying without a mirror. So here we go. So back to May 2023. I was visiting Vivienne Westwood New York City store. Definitely is a beautiful store, so I highly recommend you visit if you are in the area. But I was visiting that store for the first time ever, and I was really excited because I've never been there, and also I am a big fan of Vivienne Westwood, so I was having a fun time looking around. And what caught my eyes the most were their tie collection. I actually didn't know that Vivienne Westwood made ties back then, like when I had no idea about the brand basically. And when I saw their tie collection, they had this one numbers tie, and like the black numbers tie with like the planet motif. I'll probably take a picture and then post it here. And like some madras ties and like leopard ties and all that stuff. But yeah, this tie really caught my attention. And I asked the store associate how much is it, and it was $135, which actually isn't too expensive for Vivienne Westwood, considering that like their jackets are $2,000 and like pants are $1,000, So I was like, yeah, that's actually not that bad. But at the same time, I don't have much money right now, so I want to wait until next week when I get my paycheck, and then I'll come back to buy that. So I told them that, and they're yeah, sure, do what you want to do. And I left the store, and then I went back to the store a week later. And unfortunately, that tie was gone. This exact tie that I saw was gone, and I was so heartbroken. The store associate told me that the tie was sold 2 days ago, and I was so sad. I didn't know what to do because I really loved this tie for many reasons. But first, like I felt that it made a lot of sense to me personally as someone who is teaching math to middle school students on a regular basis to have this tie. And another thing is I was a math major, so I love numbers. And it's just I thought it was a unique tie that you can't get anywhere else, which is true. I feel like you probably can't get this anywhere else. It's very Vivienne Westwood. So I was pretty sad, but they did have that planet numbers tie, so I did get that. But at the same time, deep down my heart, I was like, this is the real deal. I don't know. I don't know where I can get it. So I looked online. I went to Vivienne Westwood online shop. I went to Essence. I went to like eBay and everywhere. Nowhere to be found. So I was pretty sad. Even if I was happy to get that black numbers tie. That's just how it went. And for like at least a month, I still for some reason couldn't get that out of my head. So even though I did have that black numbers tie, so I did wear that a lot, and I love it to this very day, but I just couldn't stop thinking about this tie. But of course, you have to let something go if that something is something you can't get because it's sold out. So I let it go, and yeah, months passed by, and then I was planning my Japan trip or Tokyo trip, I guess, and I realized that for some reason Tokyo has like 8 different Vivienne Westwood shops, and I was like, yeah, let's just visit a couple and see what they offer. And to my surprise, when I went to the Vivienne Westwood Omotesando shop, they had this exact tie that I was thinking about for a while. And yeah, I was so shocked and I was so excited and so all those beautiful emotions all coming together because I finally found that tie that I really wanted. Although at the same time, they had so many good offerings, so I could not Like, I had a hard time choosing between the 3 candidates. I'll post a picture here. There were like 30 different ties that I really, really loved. But of course, I chose 3. And then from those 3, I had to choose one. And then I remember actually thinking to myself, do I like go back to the past, which means to get this tie, or do I just like live in the moment and get that heart tie that I really like? And I actually like remember talking to the store associate in Vivienne Westwood, Japan, or Tokyo Omotesando, telling him all those stories, and he was so kind to listen to all that in Japanese. Of course, I talked to him in Japanese, and he was like, "Yeah, it's such a hard decision." And I actually distinctly remember asking randomdecisionmaker.com. If you don't know what that is a tool that I use on a regular basis when I can't make decisions. So I highly recommend you to try it out at least once or twice in your day-to-day life. I asked Random Decision Maker 3 times in a row, should I get the numbers tie or the hearts tie or the other hearts tie? And then it said numbers, numbers, numbers. And that is such a rare occasion, because you think about the probability, 1 out of 3 times 1 out of 3 times 1 out of 3 is 1 out of 27, which is like less than 4%. So I was like, yeah, this is it. I should probably get the numbers, which is ironic, or I guess kind of fitting, I guess, because the numbers tie, my association with numbers ties is like just math, and then I use mathematical probability to get the tie. Maybe that's overthinking, but anyway, so I got the tie, and I only got this one because, of course, it's like pretty expensive even without tax. It's like around $130. And yeah, I am very happy about the purchase. I am so glad that I have this tie in possession right now. And yeah, I still can't forget that feeling that I felt when I discovered that tie. That tie right in front of me. That is the lore of this Vivienne Westwood tie that I am very grateful to have. How does that connect to today's topic? Today's topic's going to be basically about how do you know what to buy and like whether you should buy it or not. This is such an intricate and difficult topic to discuss just because a lot of factors come into play. But I think the number one factor is definitely money, because we all have no infinite money. You don't have infinite financial resource, and I don't have infinite financial resource. So we all have to prioritize other stuff, like in hobby, or like paying rent or paying electricity bills or whatever, and you have your disposable income, and then you spend that on your hobby. For instance, for me, it's fashion, I guess. And it is difficult to discuss because it really depends on your financial resource. But let's just put that aside, that we all have different kinds of financial resources. Let's just say that, of course, you have limited money to spend on fashion, and in that case, what do? If you have like 100 different garments that you want to buy and you all love, for instance, if you look at my Essence wish lists, you'll find like at least 50. And if you add them all up together, it will probably amount to like $15,000 or whatever. Do I have that much money right now? No. So I cannot buy all of them. But I still managed to prioritize some stuff that I want to buy or not. And to be honest, like the short answer is, it really comes with experience, because at first when you're starting out, like for me, when I was first starting out in my fashion journey or menswear journey, I didn't know what to buy for first time, or like prioritizing one garment for another, because I just had no idea what my vision was or what kind of look I was going for. And I kind of low-key just like bought everything that I could at the lowest price possible. For instance, if you go to eBay, you can find a lot of cheap garments. Even like pretty good brands like Brooks Brothers or Polar Ralph Lauren or J. Crew, those kind of brands, So that's what I did when I was first starting out. And as you get to purchase more and more, you get to learn more about what counts as good garments and what counts as good design, what designs you like the most, or like what kind of designs you gravitate towards, So that is definitely that does come with time. But that being said, even if you have a lot of experience, sometimes you have a hard time deciding which one to buy. I think personally for me, let's just give this tie an example. Get this tie as an example. I currently already have 75, I think. Last time I counted, 75 ties. if I buy more ties, you might call me a madman, and that is true. I am a madman. I am a sucker for ties, so I am trying to watch it, when I'm buying ties. I don't want to buy ties that just like look generic now at this point, or like some things that I have already. So when I buy ties, a lot of things go into my mind, as in like first the price point, of course. Second, is the design unique, or do I love the design? Third, what kind of brand is it? Because if I already have like 10 different ties with the Polar Ralph Lauren brand, which is actually true, I have 10 Polar Ralph Lauren ties, then I would probably want to diversify my brands. So I would probably want to buy some other brands, for instance. And a lot of different stuff goes into my mind. But one thing that I really think about the most is, when I buy this garment, will I be able to mix and match with different garments that I have in my wardrobe right now? That is the most important thing, in my opinion. Like, yes, I have seen a lot of different garments that I love, like the concept of or the design of, and I'm like, wow, this is such an amazing garment. I would love to wear this. I would love to rock this. But then when I think about myself wearing that garment, if I have a hard time imagining what outfit I would put together with the remaining garments in my wardrobe, then I just put it back on the rack, just because of the fact that like it won't be versatile in my wardrobe. What this means is, you should look at your wardrobe and you should have like a good sense of what kind of items you have in your wardrobe. It is difficult to do so when you're starting up, but as you buy more and more, or like as you build your wardrobe, you will be able to get a sense of what kind of look or what kind of style your wardrobe is like primarily consisted of. And if you get a sense of that, you will be able to see what kinds of looks you can mix and match with whenever you see a garment that you like. And that doesn't necessarily mean you can't buy that garment just because you can't fit it into your own look. You might want to experiment with some looks or some other new style. For instance, I am kind of diving into streetwear these days, and my first ever hoodie purchase was the Supreme Camo Box logo hoodie. And if you think about my wardrobe, it is definitely more like trad style or like preppy style inclined, and you might think, yeah, that doesn't make sense that he bought that if his primary look is Ivy style or like preppy style, which is true. But then I wanted to experiment with it, and then I tried to experiment with that with like other garments in my wardrobe, and of course it's not as versatile as like a Oxford button-down shirt or whatever, but I still had I'm still having a good time trying to experiment with that garment. So exceptions exist, but most of the time, when I think about purchasing garments, I always think about the versatility within my wardrobe. So that being said, I definitely want to discuss this aspect of like time. The temporal aspect is real because just like what I told you about this tie, most of the times when you try to buy a garment, it will sell out at some point unless they're like mass producing it like over and over again, like season after season. Most of the garments you will purchase will be just for that season. And it is such a difficult thing because like, especially when they're on sale, then it's going to like sell out quickly, because you want to have at least a little bit of time to think about why you want that and how you can incorporate that into your wardrobe. And sometimes that takes like just a day, sometimes that takes a week, sometimes that takes a month, more than a month sometimes, And it's such a difficult decision to make like in a snap, especially in an in-person store when the store associated is like literally right in front of you, low-key pressuring you to buy, which is why I sometimes don't like going to the store, purchases. But when you think about that aspect, it's such a difficult thing, unfortunately. And when you will run into these kinds of cases where, like me, where I like that a lot, and then I have to come back after a week because of financial resource reasons, and then you just can't buy it anymore. Also, in like thrift stores or vintage stores, you really like this garment, and then you come back later, and then it's gone. Like, I definitely had that experience more than once, trust me. And it is very painful because you think you like it a lot, and then you want to sleep on it, and then you go back a few days later and then someone bought it. So it's a hard hobby to have, not gonna lie. In that aspect, first of all, that's what makes it beautiful, and that's what makes it fun. And another thing is, like, at some point, you have to like build this mindset of, oh, that garment was just whatever, like I can live without it. because it is true. It's just a clothing item. It's not that you can't live without it. Yes, of course your quality of life would increase just a little bit, or your happiness will increase just a little bit, or whatever, because it's a beautiful garment and you like wearing clothes like me. But if you let that dictate your life, or just kind of like bum you down like what I did because I couldn't find this tie, it's gonna be hard, and that just kind of defeats the purpose of this hobby, which is to have fun, in my opinion. You want to have fun wearing clothes. You want to have fun exploring different styles and like different garments. So that's just my thought on this topic. It's like it's such a hard topic, and I don't think there's a right answer to this topic. And everyone's gonna have different experiences, just because, yeah, like the most important aspect, I guess, is a financial resource. But many different reasons, like you might prioritize one thing or another, and you might want to spend more money on some other part of fashion than like buying garments or whatnot. So yeah, it will be different, but at the same time, the most important aspect definitely is to have fun. And this is such a miraculous story, not gonna lie, that I found this tie. So I definitely will keep this and take this to my grave. But I thought, when I was buying this, I really thought about what should go into making that decision to buy a garment. So here is just my 2 cents. I hope this video helped you, or like just resonated with you. I hope this video isn't too long. Maybe it's gonna be too long. I don't know. I have a hard time compressing my thoughts into like 5-minute videos. But yeah, let's just end it here for now. Thank you for watching.